Hi everyone, it's day 39 and we are in the historic book of Job. Some people say it's a fiction, but I believe that Job did live and that Job did exist and that Job did be. Choose your point. Job was, Job is, and Job still is. I believe that it's a true story, not just some parable or something cooked up. I want to come from the perspective of Job's friends. When we're dealing with things in life, or other people around us, let's speak from our side now, other people around us are having issues. There's a tendency to come and be giving advice and say, do it like this, do it like that, or it's because of, please just stop it. Stop analyzing why people are dealing with things. It's not every bad thing happening in somebody's family that is because of Amadioa. I said it. There's not every bad thing in somebody's family because of, their great-grandfather sacrificed something or it's really not. Please, let people breathe. And that's what Job was trying to tell these people. Look, what are people saying that is not new? I mean, what are people not saying before? Because all of them, Eliphaz and Cody, all had advice. But none of them was correct. In fact, in the end, God had to tell them to go and give offering to Job and make Job to pray for them because they had sinned. And that's why it's very dangerous to start analyzing people's situation, especially when you are not doing it through the spirit of discernment or by the gift of discernment. Don't just sit down in your house or meet a friend that you've gone to console and say, it's okay, it's because this, is because that. You might just be crossing the lines. My advice to you today is this. When someone is having a hard time and it looks like calamity, because trust me, all of Job's friends, they're used to seeing Job have a good life, Job prospering and all of that. It didn't make sense all of a sudden something bad was happening to Job. He had to have done something wrong according to them, and that's the human mentality. So I wouldn't blame them for thinking that way, but we've seen now that sometimes we are wrong. It may not really be because someone did anything wrong that they're having a hard time. It may not be because their father or their grandmother killed somebody that's making them have a hard time. Sometimes it might just be, I'd like to call it life. But in this case, we say that it wasn't life for Job. There was a transaction. The enemy went to the Lord and, God was the one that said, have you considered my servant Job? I mean, God, why did you pull him up? God just had to show Satan, you don't have people on earth yet. Because Satan came back to him, was like, I'm not sending anybody, I've finished everybody. Everybody's under my wings now. And God said, so you think, have you considered Job? The main question here today is why and how did God have such confidence in Job that Job will not disappoint him? How could God stake what he had with Job to the enemy, knowing how ruthless Satan was? Satan went for everything except the one God said no. Said you can't touch his life. Like, why was God that confident? And I'm asking myself, would God be that confident to allow me to go through certain fire? Would God let you go through certain circumstances? Yeah, I know, I realize we don't want it. Nobody wants it. Sometimes. Just sometimes. I know God knows that you love him. But the truth is, sometimes you will be tested. For Job, it was a test. And that was why all the Job called them miserable comforters that came around to comfort him. The word is funny to me. Miserable comforter. I mean, what part of English is that? It does not rhyme. How can someone be a comforter and miserable? Like, it's because of their mouth. Sometimes just shut up. Instead, focus on your life and ask yourself, if the Lord needed to test me, will I pass? Did Job pass? I'll say he did. After he didn't deny God, that was the bottom line of everything. He said some things, but God still proved himself God. Tomorrow, I'll share my story with you from the book of Job, my personal story. Catch you tomorrow.